anyway, in case you're interested, the quiz that's posted that you guys just turned in, the primer quiz that you turned in, there's a video link under that one set of data that teaches you how to copy data from a PDF, drop it into Excel, and then use what's called the COUNTIF function, which is a freaking super handy function. It allows you to go into a set of data and count how many have a certain property. In this case, greater than whatever, 82, less than 50. LeJuan, did you get my emails in time? I finally saw your original one and I got, okay, good, thank you. I apologize for that. It got buried so far down I didn't even get to it. So I apologize. Okay, good. So anyway, I'll try to do that as I think of it. Like if I immediately go to Excel to do something statistical and I haven't shared it with you, I'll try to just bang out a real quick 3-minute video and then post it off of whatever. Just because, why not? I mean, it's just, why not? It just seems like the most logical thing to do. That way you guys are picking up new skills while you're picking up new math skills and stat skills. You're also picking up new tech skills. So that might come in handy for you in other classes. I hope it does. I hope it does. Oh, Tim, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, I don't want to mess up your...
You're good. It's already messed up. I see me in it. Just turn that around. There we go. Oh, man. Yeah. Now you have to look at it. We got more, baby. All right. This is good. We got a workout coming back up the hill. So, how's the project?
That was good.
We got a lot to do today. I apologize for that. A lot to do. I apologize for the massive amount of prep. Project was okay?
Yeah.
Decent?
Yeah.
No math. I mean, there's no math involved at all. It's just simple ratios, essentially.
Wordy.
And wordy. Oh, yes. That's one thing you'll notice about this class. You have to process the reading of the data. This is also why I started, I'll get you, I promise for
No,
it.
it's fine.
I started linking off those YouTube videos from your homeworks as well. Because most of the time you're going to be reading in the homeworks and processing that and trying to figure out, like the book has solutions, but I'm not sure how well they're worked in the book. Sometimes it's just an answer, and the answer is helpful, it's kinda, but if you get close to that but not exactly, it's nice to see if what you did got you via some kind of a small error to that answer, or if you were off base completely. That's why I like having the videos off the homework questions, so you can kind of see the process as we're going. Please, Renee.
I was just gonna, I didn't, the P with the long score, like to me it was sentence structure.
Yes.
So, but I did all the problems as,
Numerical?
yeah.
That's okay.
Okay.
No, okay, so how many of you, when you saw the notation for probability, P, parentheses, and that immediately started having like dry heaves, because you're like, that looks like f of x notation from 111. Yeah, it's not. It's not at all. I mean, the only way it's like that is the fact that it's shorthand. All that means is it's the probability of blah. And what that blah is could not be more different than what it was in 111. In 111, was in the parentheses was a very specific x value that you were then evaluating and getting a y value out. In parentheses here is just some kind of a conversational bunch of words that gives the reader an idea of what the hell you're talking about. And you might have something written differently than I do, but you still get the same point across that we're both correct about it. So it's way less rigorously mathematical than it was in 111.
Right.
So feel free to ignore it if you want to, that's fine too.
Well, I don't want to ignore it because I want to.
Well, I will give you a chance to. I say that. I'll keep using it in class when we get to it. John, go ahead.
Well, I noticed that on most of it, you already wrote that. So do we have to actually take what you wrote in the problems and write the P out again and then give our
It's
answer?
not so much I'm going to crack your hand if you don't. It's knowing what the shorthand means when you experience it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's like when you grab a wrench and it says 11/16, knowing that that's a little less than 3/4 kind of a thing. It's just it's one of those things, like it's comfort with it. And I did, right? That project was like 10 pages long. I mean, and it's wordy, like you said. But I think it kind of has to be, because although the math is minimal, the understanding of like the terms, sample space, event space, complement, all those things, or. What do you do with it? What the hell is or? What do you do with or? Well, now you know.
Given that, or Cameron explained that to me.
Exactly. Well, hopefully you now know that or means to. Boom. So you got it. And that's the idea of writing it over and over again, is to kind of, I go back to my drum lessons, honestly. It goes back to drum lessons. How did I learn how to play the drums? You know, go from 0 to being a drummer. It's from constant repetition and revisiting. Repetition, revisit, repetition, revisit. So it seems unnecessarily wordy, but sometimes it needs to be. The next project will be a little bit more mathematical, not much more, a little bit more, only because you're going to be sampling more than one thing at a time, which is actually way more interesting, because that's what we do in statistics, is sample more than one thing at a time. You may have noticed on the schedule page the rainy day coupon mention. I haven't talked about that yet. I think, what the hell, we'll talk about it right now. Oh, okay. It's missing the left side. Hopefully that doesn't affect us.
No worries.
They had fixed the size of the screen. Maybe it's not fixed now. All right, so.
We're not 104.
Oh, it's okay. I'll take you to the same schedule page. Week 3. Okay, it says remember the rainy day coupons. So if you click on that, it takes you out to my coupon page. There are 3 of them. I'll explain one now, the other 2 next week. This is the rainy day project coupon. So in case you walked in here today and you're hearing us talk about this project, and you're saying, what the hell are they talking about? Project. That's what I designed this for. This is a one-time free pass for 24 hours in case you forget a project. No penalty. It's just within 24 hours, print that, staple it, put it on your project, slide it under the door if I'm not there. As long as it's within 24 hours, it's as if you turned it in on time. Is that fair? Mm-hmm. If nobody uses it, it's worth 5 points for at the end of the term. That's why right now you guys have an extra superfluous 5 points in your progress reports, if you've been noticing that. Mm-hmm. Some of you have like 150% average in here as of week 1. Mm-hmm. That's because you had a 10 out of 10 on a quiz and 5 extra points. So you have 15 out of 10, which is 150%. So that's why. It's actually worth points if you don't use it. It's also, I guess, worth points if you do. It gives you 20 as opposed to a 0, 25 as opposed to a 0, so I guess it's worth points there too. So if you don't use it, it's worth 5 extra credit points. If you do use it, it's just like we extend the due date for a day for you. I learned that from my acupuncturist. I missed an acupuncture meeting once. I was so pissed at myself. Outlook didn't remind me. I always blame technology when Outlook. I missed my appointment because Outlook didn't remind me. I'm like, it didn't, but you know, you're a big boy and you can like write things down on your hand. And she said, and I called him like, Don, I'm so sorry. She's like, it's cool. Everybody gets one free. And I'm like, well, that is freaking cool. That's cool. Everybody gets one free. So that's what this is. That's the everybody gets one free from Donna Stansel. Great acupuncturist. Everybody needs one. Great acupuncturist. So, and it's worth points if you don't use it. So, most students never do. But as the term starts winding on and things start building up, sometimes we find the need to forget things from time to time. So that'll help us alleviate that. We'll explain these next week. They have another implication, but they're all good. They're all worth points. This is about 25 points worth of extra credit by the end of the day. So that's all a good thing for you. Because that's, if you think about it, that's 1/20th of the value of all the points in the course in extra credit. If you think about it that with 5% extra points that are just floating around waiting to be used. So that's a good thing, I think.
Thanks.
No. It's all pedagogy. You're welcome. It's all pedagogy. It's all to make the learning, it's to take some anxiety away and to make the learning process, therefore, more smooth. Because one thing I noticed talking to 105 today is, and they know there's an exam next week, and they're freaked. And I spent most of the time just talking them down. It's cool. What do you need on the exam to make you feel less? Because I noticed that they can perform mathematically and statistically, but not if they're panicked. If they're panicked, the easiest thing, like round to the nearest 10th place, is going to throw them off. So I'm trying, how do I alleviate, right, exactly, how do I alleviate that? Hey, I'm panicked, I'm a deer in the headlights. How do I alleviate that? And little things like that do a pretty good job. So.
Yes.
Quizzes in there, good. I don't think we need this right now. We can turn that off.
So is 105 statistics as well?
I'm making it a pre-stat course. I've turned it into a pre-stat course, yeah. Much to the chagrin of most of the department. Where's the algebra? I'm like, there's some algebra, don't worry. It's mostly estimation. Like, oh my god, I can't hear this! I'm like, yeah, it's pretty awesome, actually. It's just one of those things that like you just have to get used to thinking that way. I mean, things like Google and YouTube and Facebook don't operate on algebra. They operate on statistics. I mean, it's the world we live in. And I think you're going to start seeing, if you guys come, if you're here for a few years, if you send your kids here, if you know people that come here in 10 years, there's going to be a big quantum shift in which classes are offered. There's going to be more and more 243s and 244s. I mean, hell, there already are. I've been here 10 years. When I first got here, there was 1 243 and 1 244 offered every term. There are, I think, 7 total of those classes this term. And I never taught it before, because there was a statistician. That's all they did was those 2 classes and whatever leftover classes there were. And I had to pick up the other ones because one person can't do 8 classes. So, yeah, it's only going to get more and more. Nurses. Nurses in here? You guys take 243, obviously you're here. That was never required until about 3 or 4 years ago. So, I don't know what was required. It was 95, which again, I mean, that was like the only prereq, and they started realizing that, my God, these nurses should read medical journals and understand what the hell they're saying. Well, yeah, absolutely. The doctors should too, for that matter. But I didn't come here to tell you that. Or did I come here to tell you? What were we talking about last time?
The
Variation! Thank you. Yes, we were, weren't we? We're talking about variation. Yes, we were. You might want to pull that data sheet out. If you have those data sheets, which I have over here.
Is that this one?
Yes, ma'am. It's the one that has the map of the United States on it and the snowfall on the back. If anybody needs, I got some extra copies.
Was that on Monday?
I don't know when it was. I think it was last week, but I don't remember exactly. I'm going to hand those back to him, and then whatever extras you have, send forward.
Oh, yeah, I think it
You may have that. I have made extra copies just in case you did.